Hey everybody. I feel like it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. It's probably only been just over a week or about a week, I guess. But just lots going on in my life. How about you? So welcome to the channel if this is the first time you're here, or if this isn't your first time you're here. Thanks for coming back. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time. My name is Grant, and today I am sober. And today's video, I want to talk about the first couple of weeks of quitting alcohol, and versus the first couple of weeks of quitting coffee. Now, when I'm talking about quitting coffee, I'm not talking about quitting caffeine 100%. I'm just talking about quitting coffee. Because as we all know, or we should know, there's caffeine in a lot of products, like chocolate, and there's caffeine in tea, of course, or most teas anyways, and other food items, I guess. But for me, coffee, the reason I quit it on November 1st, 2021, because I wanted to lose some weight quickly. And you're saying, well, I've heard coffee's good for weight loss, blah, blah, blah. It is if you're not insulin resistant. And this video isn't about insulin resistance and how that affects your weight loss or gain, or this is about how you feel when you first quit drinking alcohol for the first couple of weeks, and then versus how it feels when you quit coffee. Now, to me, coffee. I was just going to say caffeine, but I guess essentially you're quitting. That was my, 90% of the caffeine that I probably consume was coming from coffee. I don't really eat chocolate, especially this last month. I've been going crazy trying to lose weight, so I'm not really a chocolate drinker or eater or drinker, I guess. I don't drink chocolate milk. I don't know if there's caffeine in chocolate milk. The thing is, you give your children all of these things, and there's caffeine in it. My son doesn't drink pop. He's never tried one, but a lot of children or younger people, teens, they eat and they drink all kinds of things with caffeine, and it has to be the world's biggest drug addiction, caffeine in general. But I'll stop rambling. So when you first quit drinking alcohol, for me, I've quit a handful of times, maybe more than a handful, but the way that I feel is the first couple of days, for me, it's I might have a slight headache, but not really, like just maybe very faint. For me, quitting alcohol is more about the habit and the craving or the desire, and it might be part of my routine, where I come home after work, after supper, I pour myself a whiskey and I sit and I watch the news or whatever I'm doing, right? And it's more about that. And slowly, after the first week, I'm still craving it, but I'm not really feeling a whole bunch better. I don't feel like incredible. It doesn't feel, it takes a lot longer with alcohol. The second week, I realize I have to start doing a few different things because my habits are causing me to desire a drink. And so I started doing that, but the good thing is I'm not waking up with hangover or dry. I'm not dehydrated, and I don't have a crappy sleep because I was drinking at night. And so those things improve a bit, but it's not largely noticeable when you quit alcohol. which is strange because it's basically poison you're putting in your body, and you're saying, here, liver, take care of me, process this poison for me, please. I'm going to keep drinking it. So you would think that if you quit for a week or two, you would just feel incredible. But the fact is, you don't. You feel better, if you're not hungover, of course. But if you take that out of the equation, and it's just, how do I feel just for the pure fact that I haven't had a drink in, let's say, 5 days, 10 days, or 14 days. And you feel a bit better about yourself, but not a whole bunch yet. Those things are going to come down the road. You have to realize when it comes to alcohol, for me anyways, and I'm guessing a lot of people feel the same, it takes a lot longer before you really notice all of these changes in yourself about, more energy and losing some weight and feeling proud of yourself, and, you're accomplishing something. It takes a while before you start noticing that. So for me, the first 2 weeks of quitting alcohol is just the no hangovers, a little bit better sleep, of course, and waking up in the morning is the biggest part. Is you just don't feel like crap. Okay. Now, quitting coffee, on the other hand, man, what a difference. For something that's not considered a drug in mainstream media and wherever commercially recognized as a drug, like alcohol, there's campaigns on, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and there's all of these different organizations that don't want you to drink because it's dangerous, right? Not just for driving, but just anything. It's just bad for you. But you don't see that with coffee. Yet, people have caffeine every freaking day. And let's face it, coffee's not good for your body. It's just not. It's hard on your stomach, especially if you drink it on an empty stomach. You're going to kill the gut bacteria, the good stuff. And you don't want that, because that's where your serotonin comes from. And let me start on the first 2 weeks of quitting coffee. So for me, I quit November 1st. This isn't the first time I've done this. And the first week, I had a headache almost every day for about 5 days. And I felt so tired. And I started getting cold. After about 3 days, I started getting cold. And to me, it started making me think, this must be a very, a very small, I don't know how to word this, but how someone, like, I've never taken crack. I've never done those big, heavy drugs or anything. But when those people are in rehab and they're going through withdrawal, their scale, they're at 100%. They're having a hard time. Well, for me, this was like the baby version of that. It's just like, it's not fair to compare that to crack or anything, but it was just like, it feels like, these poor people that are going through that, the bad effects of trying to quit those heavy drugs. Well, I felt like this was on a smaller level, lower scale. That's what this is like. The headaches, brutal. Never got that when I quit alcohol. But, I started taking ACV and lemon water every morning on an empty stomach. I'm doing intermittent fasting, and I don't eat till at least 10 to 11 every day. Today was after 12 o'clock. It was 12:30 p.m. or something, and I hadn't eaten since 5:30 the night before. So quite a while without eating. And so I take the ACV and I take the lemon water, and I'll have to say, when I was about 8 or 9 days into no coffee, now I still had one mint green tea a day. And then I started, when I had the habit of, I just wanted something warm to drink, like if I had to give in the morning, that first couple weeks, I'd have a peppermint tea, which has no caffeine, and it doesn't affect your insulin. It doesn't boost your insulin, so it doesn't throw you out of like a ketosis or whatever if you're doing like intermittent fasting with keto. But that first week was hell, you know, and it's amazing because I just quit coffee, just a widely acceptable drink. Uh, you know, I'm guessing more than 60% of adults consume. I'm guessing. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Um, but then the next week, eighth or ninth day, and I think it's because I was feeding my gut bacteria with the lemon water and the ACV as well. But my mood was boosted. I'm a pretty, I don't know if you've noticed if you watch my videos, but I'm pretty even keel. I might be happy, I might be, you know, but for the most part, I'm like this. I'm just level. Unless I get pissed off or, you know, and I'll laugh, of course, if I think something's funny, but for the most part, I'm pretty serious and I'm just kind of level. Well, I have to say that after, let's just call it 10 days, I think it was less than that, but my mood was boosted. I felt great. I felt happier. I felt like, you know, you get the butterflies in your stomach when you're excited about things. Well, just when I was appreciating the moment on those days, just that's what I focus on. I feel that it's because I quit the coffee and my gut bacteria is growing again because I'm feeding it with the lemon water in the morning, and I'm not killing it in the morning when I'm drinking 3 or 4 strong cups of coffee, right, on an empty stomach for 3 or 4 hours. How stupid was that? So I have had coffee yesterday. Did have coffee, and I have to say I drank a cup after I ate around 11, and drank the coffee around 11:30, 12, around noon. And at 11 p.m., I was laying in bed, and I was just like, just like wired. Now, I don't know if that's from looking at devices all day, or or maybe it's partial. Maybe it's a little bit of both, the devices and the influx of that strong caffeine from a coffee. I don't know, but man, did it hit me. So that shit really affects you. But now today I'm back on the ACV and the lemon water first thing in the morning, and my mint green tea, and losing weight. In November, I started. I was 220.8 pounds. On what was it, yesterday or this morning? I was 208.2 or whatever. That's what I've lost in November, and all I've done is cut back. I don't eat snack at night every night. I've done it maybe once a week. This week I did it twice a week. I celebrated American Thanksgiving because it's an excuse to stay home on vacation. But I've eaten pizza numerous times. I eat bacon and eggs in the morning or late in the morning when I have my first meal, but I don't have toast or anything. I don't eat the starchy carbs. And that's another thing. I cut way back, 80% starchy carbs. What a big difference. Eventually, when I get to my goal weight, which is going to be under 200 pounds, I think I'm going to go to about 190 to 195, and then I'm going to start eating somewhat normal. I'm going to do my best to not overeat, and I'm still not going to eat most nights, and to maintain that weight at 200 or just under 200 as the doctor has asked me to. So anyways, those are my experiences quitting alcohol the first 2 weeks and quitting coffee the first 2 weeks. And I have to say, quitting coffee, the result was much better. Just feeling, I felt more energy after I got through that first week of detox or whatever the hell that was. And my mood, the next week, my mood was better and my energy level was better, and I just felt great. And I feel like that most days now. It's awesome. I miss coffee though. I like the smell. I love the smell, and I hope to get back there someday where I can drink it a little more responsibly. But as with most things, I'm black and white. It's either all in or all out. So we'll see how that goes. But there's worse things like alcohol, right? That's the one that I definitely choose no. So I hope this was helpful if you're thinking about quitting alcohol or if you're thinking about quitting coffee. My name is Grant, and if you've made it to this part of the video, you're still here, thank you. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you again next Sunday. Cheers.